everyone, it's Nilay Ertemur Bhatti here. I hope all is going well. Actually, before I start my topic in today's video, I wanted to say before I put them on YouTube, I do watch my videos, of course, to see if I made any sort of a really huge, big mistake. Sometimes I realize instead of saying junior kindergarten, I said junior high school. Somehow your brain is saying the wrong thing, or instead of a number, you say another number. Or actually, you just don't use the third form of that verb in the present perfect tense. But again, I find these mistakes are probably tolerable. At least I'm aware, and at least I'm making you aware. So if you realize something that is not quite right, it's because in spoken English, when I am trying to also not pause, and I don't really have a text here, I am just preparing myself. I know the main points I will talk about, and I'm just talking about it. So I hope you can excuse me for all that. And let's go to today's topic. It is the balance in digital life. So I remember 20 years ago, as a young girl, I was having my first email. Again, that was because everybody was starting to have those Hotmail accounts, and I did have one. And we just didn't know, of course, the scale of things, where it was all going to go. At that point, we just thought, wow, it's amazing. You send an email and it's just like a mail. You don't have to put it in an envelope. It's great. It was the easiness of it that made us excited. And then in the last 20 years, one thing got followed by another. The digital revolution happened. So after the emails, the chat rooms became popular, which I never really cared too much about. And then basically, programming happened. So many people in different fields even learn programming these days. And along with that, social media came into our lives. It was sort of 2006 and 7s that we saw the Facebook coming in, and again others followed quickly, for kids, for older ages, for younger generations. Everybody had a platform just to voice things, and just to follow things, and just to make their dreams come true. And it was a very, very happening 20 years in the digital sense. So I've always thought, and my master's degree was in humanities computing, so in the traditional sense, arts was being combined with digital technologies, and my thesis was on internet journalism, so it was almost like for my field, perfect combination to do my thesis on it, to sort of see how internet journalism is now shaping the journalism in general. And this was 15 years ago when I finished it, of course, even actually 16, 17 now. Anyhow, and but one thing it did do to all of us was just saying so much, but not enough doing. I find, and in one of my previous videos I talked about this, that the power of doing is so big, so enormous, that we kind of forget about doing, and yet just talking about it, or complaining, because there were platforms we can just complain, or we would get bombarded with news and all kinds of information that I don't know how much really we need for our day-to-day life. So when you lose the balance, it's pretty hard then again to think healthy, to be hopeful for a better future for yourself or for your loved ones. And I see that quite a few people, even in my own networks just lost that balance, and it's sad to see. And of course you can't lecture people, oh, they are doing the wrong thing, or this or that, and the inactivity that followed by this, that people are not moving enough. They are working in front of a screen, studying in front of a screen, then socializing in front of a screen. Instead of meeting at a cafe, they are actually just turning another form of social media and just talking on it, or just even not even voice to voice, but it's messaging. So I don't know. This bothers me, and maybe it doesn't bother you, and maybe you are happy with all this. I guess if you are really happy with all this, that means you have balance in your life. Somehow you are still exercising. You are still maybe watching the clock around your digital activities. And because, I mean, if you are under the influence of some kind of a chemical or some sort of a, you know, substance, just to keep up with this flow, that means there is something wrong there, because with your own brain power, I think we are very powerful, but when we lose the balance, yes, we will need help, medication. So I'm talking about not to lose that balance, and just keeping our lives meaningful, active, and using technology and digitalism as a tool rather than a goal. So I hope it's clear. These are my opinions. Of course, everybody is entitled to their opinions, and maybe now it's your turn to either defend the way things are going, or actually, you know, support my idea. Now you know my thesis, that I just said digital life is dominating our real lives, and that's somewhat unhealthy when the balance is not there. So now talk about this, write about this. I think it's a great topic, because it will always be in the center of our lives from here on. How much more of it will happen? We are talking about robots taking over certain jobs, but then that's going to leave people with a lot of extra time in their hands. So what are they going to do? I hope they use it to better themselves physically, mentally, health-wise, relationships-wise. They just have more satisfying lives if they have more time as a result of robots taking our jobs, for example. But I think we are still a little far from there, but it's always good to talk about future, what might be coming our way. So I think this task is engaging enough for you, and thank you for watching. See you in the next one.